Today we're looking at what I call Watchtower, and we start with a song. The greatest thing in all my life is serving you. The greatest thing in all my life is serving you. I want to serve you more. I want to serve you more. The greatest thing in all my life is serving you. Of course, Watchtower, we're really looking at the role of the watchman, which is actually captured in scripture because it's like a sentinel. And of course, this is actually talking about spiritual leadership, those that are pastors, bishops, and other persons occupying spiritual position. There are certain expectations. This is captured in Ezekiel 3:17. Son of man, have made you a watchman for the house of Israel. Therefore, hear a word from my mouth and give them warning from me. So the role of the watchman is to have this closer walk with the Lord, this closer fellowship with the Lord, communion with God, so that he can actually hear from God and give warning to his people. You don't want to be the one repeating old wives' tales, things that do not edify, but you're hearing directly from the throne of grace and telling God's people, so that they can be in line with God's will. This is the role of the watch person, and this is actually talking about spiritual leadership. Because if you are not current, you are not conversant with what God is doing, you can actually lead the people astray, and there will be problems. Isaiah 56 verse 10, Israel's watchmen are blind, they are oblivious, they are like mute dogs, they cannot bark, they are dreamers lying around loving to slumber, and usually judgment will come upon such people. So if you're in spiritual leadership in any form or sense, you need to be someone that is close to God, having communion with God and receiving from God for his people.